Bob Backlund as WWF champion? Because I know you were there, or it's actually WWF, I suppose, when you were there. I would look at him and go, he doesn't really strike me as, the face of the company material, in charisma. But he was an amazing, amateur wrestler. But so, what was your opinions when you first saw him?
Well, I wrestled many, many hours with him, and he's a gentleman, a great performer, and I love the guy. He's terrific. He took a place in wrestling. He took a role which really was good amateur background, good wrestling background. Didn't cause any trouble. He was just a tremendous role model, which was when you look back in the '80s. The times and the different groups and categories of people, the hippies and bikers or whatever groups were out there. He was kind of like really solid mainstream, and he was a good foundation that you could run your company on. They surrounded him by so much talent that he didn't really need. The baby faces didn't need that type of personality in order to draw. When you talk about Bruno and Pedro and Bob, their promos were really simplistic and really easy to understand and just relatable to the common people. Where you had heels like myself or Piper or who were other guys who were represented like by Blassie or the Wizard or and we would supply all the fireworks and the lightning and brimstone and everything else, so that and up and down the card they had a great lot of character, the Japanese or the Valiants or the Samoans, there's all kinds of Sergeant Slaughters. There's a guy, Sergeant Slaughter. He never gets mentioned. I'm curious. Him and Bill Eadie, the Masked Superstar. It's funny how they never get mentioned as great, the great performers of my era, my time, which they were in Slaughter. I wonder, I guess because he kind of went to New York and stayed there, went back to Charlotte for a little while, and then ended up stopping, just making home in New York. We had a home in Charlotte, but making his camp in New York. But those guys, that never got. There's a lot of guys from that era that they're kind of neglected, probably because they never ate meatball sandwiches.
Just going on Bob again, I've heard a couple of things about him. One is that he's strong as an ox, like mad strong. And two, he was actually really great at drinking, which is like more true of the two.
Both. He didn't drink a lot, though. He could do the trick where he could open his throat, and he was strong. He could poke his hand and make an extra hole in the beer can, and chugging in. So I guess he could open his throat, and just as fast as the beer would enter or the glass would enter, it would go down his throat. So nobody could beat him in a chugging contest, I guess. So. But but he didn't hang out at bars. He didn't hang out. He was he kept he was really really straight laced, cool guy, intelligent. I never really got known to my last tour to Japan. And because we were back in the kayfabe era, and we never really associated or talked outside of wrestling. Maybe around the TV programs or something like that. But never really had a chance to know one another. Then my last tour, one of my last tours in Japan, he was on it, and we had a good time together. Got to know each other pretty well. After spending hours and hours in the ring together, he trusted me, and it was all the guys. I think everybody I ever wrestled with, they all trusted me as being just performer out there to put a show on. I wasn't out to beat the other, for some reason to slip a fall or catch a, steal a belt or, I was just out there to, have the best match possible. Because I know Bob trusted me. We were doing one of those arm series where he would pick me up out of a short arm scissors and lift me over his head. And I was going a good 250, 260 at the time. He'd go and drop me again a couple times. Oh, and you go, got to lay here for a minute, Don. Wait a second. said, what's up? What's up? You know, and says, oh, when you came over, you landed on one of my balls and it hurts. So I knew right then I could have taken him. You know, I knew the belt would have been mine, but I would have had a belt with no place to work. You know?